I'm trying to clean a cage. So I'm gonna do it with one hand because I don't want to be late. So hold on, I'm gonna turn this around. Hi. Wait till I show you these precious, precious little ones. Hi, sweetie. Hi. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm gonna clean this kennel while I get some people jumping on here. But these are the pups that came in unexpectedly. Up. I hope we're not going to start having trouble with the feed. It looked like it just tried to disconnect. But these are the pups that came in from Dehennis that I wasn't expecting to get. I know, sweetie. This one wants to get out, and look at her back. Her back, she's got, she's raw pretty much from all the fleas that she had on her. And so, she doesn't have fleas anymore. So I'm absolutely, I've made sure of that. Those die within 24 hours, but all of them were just loaded. She's got one more nail that I've got to cut. She didn't want me to do it. I clipped a little bit of it, but it's still too long. I've got to get that nail there. I know, honey. Hold on, I need to clean your kennels. You got a pee-pee kennel. So, I'm gonna tell you guys what happened yesterday, and I'm gonna just give you a fair warning here. I got a couple things that I'm pretty pissed off at. I don't know any other way to put it. Well, let's just start with the first one. The first one is the Dehennis dogs that are right here. So when I went over there yesterday to get what I thought was going to be just two really, really old Chihuahuas, like 14-year-old Chihuahuas, and one other dog. Now I've got a mama and a baby. Hold on, let me show you. Her name is Vanna. So you can't really see her back, but she's got, oh yeah, you can right there. Look at all the hair loss. These are the puppies that I was showing you guys that had fleas running all over them. And I thought that I had gotten all of the females out of this house. Well, apparently I didn't. So for those of you that are just jumping on, I'm going to first address the issue yesterday in Dehennis. For those of you that don't know, I helped with a family that had been overwhelmed with dogs. I pulled 66 of them out of there, and when I left, I didn't think there was any more females. I thought that I had all the females out of there because that was my goal, because I don't want them having more babies, right? And so when I went there yesterday to get the two old ones, because the lady had to go into the hospital, I was so mad when I saw more female dogs and the mama and the babies all loaded with fleas, and there's apparently nobody even living in this house now. So, and as mad as I am about it, these people are not hoarders. Like your typical hoarders that I deal with, they won't give you their dogs. These people are like, here. What we're dealing with here is, I educated, but these people have been doing it wrong their whole lives. They may love animals, but they really don't know how to properly care for them. And I made them promise, if you have any more females show up here, I want you to call me right away. But they didn't. So I was not pleasant with them. So I did get, I hope all the females are now here, but bottom line is I appreciate everybody who donated yesterday, because this was an unexpected group of dogs that I took in. The space here is literally, we have every crate and possible place to put dogs accounted for. I have more dogs coming in tomorrow. So now I'm on the phone trying to get people to foster because I don't have room for everybody, but I was not going to leave them there. So to me, I cannot handle suffering, and these dogs were suffering, and so they are here, and we're going to go into the bathroom. I'm going to show you the old ones. Those are the ones that my heart is just broken for. So I'll show you those in just a minute. Let's see here. I did want to mention a couple things, if I can even find my... Hi there. You say hi? Say hi. So this is Betty and Pebbles, and they're really, really, really itchy. Poor little things. They're, yeah. Everybody's had a bath, and everybody I know must feel better, but they still are, just going to have to deal with this itching for a while until that calms down. Oh, gosh. It's never a dull moment here. Okay. And before we even go into the bathroom, I'm going to tell you the second thing that I'm pretty riled up over. While I was on my way to the event in Leesburg, Virginia, and I don't want anybody worrying about Remy. Remy's fine. He's in a wonderful foster home. Keep in mind, these dogs are the property of Tracy's Paws up until the point that I meet these adopters and I hand them over. And if I don't like somebody, for whatever reason, I can say no. And that's what I did. So all the screening that we did went out the window when I met this woman. We look for people that are kind and patient. She showed me everything opposite of that. And when you're adopting a dog that is a rescue dog, that many of them have backgrounds that we don't know about. Some of them have warming up periods, and I was not comfortable with her for multiple reasons. So we'll leave it at that. It ended well. Don't worry, you guys don't ever worry that I'm gonna give our dog to somebody that I'm not comfortable with. We don't operate that way. So literally we don't. So that leads me to the second thing I'm not real happy about. About 5 minutes before I jumped on here, I get a call from Stevenson County in Freeport, Illinois, that one of my dogs that was adopted out in 2017 is in a county pound. Now, as you know, I don't have records prior to 2019. They took, the previous group took all my records and refused to give them back, and I have no idea why, but this is a county pound. And believe it or not, I recognize the dog. Now, again, this old lady's adopted out 10,000 plus dogs. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't, but this one I remember. And I'm gonna be posting her on the main page as soon as we're done here. They have promised me that she will not be put down, but she has the temperament of an angel. Now, some of the dogs, as you know, that I adopt out, I have a tender spot for behavior kids. So if she was a behavior kid, or let's say one of my pit bulls, do you really think that a county pound that struggles for space is gonna hold a spot for her? A dog like that? The answer is no, which is why I need my records back. So Carrie Bell Nelson, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I don't want you rummaging through my property anymore, my records anymore. I know that is the only way that you can feel relevant and part of this, but I need my records back. My dogs are priority to me, and I want to make sure that they're safe. So I'll post Rosie on here after I hang up from here. So my number remains on their chip, but the chip is registered to the old organization where all the records are, and I don't have access to it. I only have access to 2019 when we started this group and forward. And you can blame Carrie Bell Nelson for this. So anyway, I'll just leave it at that. And so now we're gonna go, and I do want to show you the older dogs from Dehennis, so hold on. And I had a piece of paper I was looking for in here, and I don't know what I did with it. You know, you never know with me. Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay. Lori Shed says, I still can't believe that legally you can't get all your records. Well, when you have a con man that does what they did, I don't know what to tell you. I can't believe it either. I don't know why they wouldn't want me to have the records, because they don't want to take care of the dogs. We're taking care of them, and people are calling me. So there is no, I don't know why they wouldn't want me to have them. I just want to help the animals, so it doesn't make any sense. But, you know, I guess you just have to really just ask yourself, especially in a case like this. Now, this dog is nice, really good temperament, but I kept making the point that if a dog goes into a county shelter or even a city shelter that euthanizes, let's say they're in a really overpopulated area like Weslaco. Let's say they go in Weslaco and the dog's got kind of questionable temperament, but a microchip that's unregistered, what are they going to do? Do you think they're going to keep the dog there? No, they don't. So I'm very lucky they called me. And I recognize the dog, so I will find where she belongs. But anybody who knows anybody from the previous group, tell them there's no use. They have no reason to keep those records anymore. I don't know what they did with all the other assets. I really don't care, but I want my records back so I can help my dogs. So anyway, we're gonna go in here and see these old dogs. Now, this is probably what bothered, and hopefully this feed keeps up, guys. This really bothered me for a couple of reasons, obviously. These dogs are super, super old. And this one, and I don't even know if they hear really well. I don't even know if they know I'm in here right now. But these dogs were, I think they do still, oh, hi, this one will come at you though. This one will try to bite and he doesn't have any teeth. His name is Spookin. The feed is dropping. That one on the right actually is Buttons. And that one is Spookin. I didn't name them. Those are their names. But their nails are super, super long, and they're very underweight. One of them doesn't have any teeth, so I was not going to leave these dogs in a house where nobody was living and just let these old dogs fend for themselves. I wasn't going to do that. So, but this again boils down to it boils down to education, and I keep harping on this because the people in this house don't think they don't love dogs, but they have never been taught how to properly care for them. So if you're doing it wrong your whole life, just like a kid that grows up doing it wrong, this is all they know. To them, they love these animals, and they don't. And even when I called them and said, and told them, what is going on here? The dogs are infested with fleas. They're underweight. There's a pregnant dog. There's dogs, mamas and babies. What's going on? They're, oh, I'm sorry. We tried to get her in. We were going to call you, and then we got busy. It's just not a priority. So I only wonder if I could have educated these people early on in life. Because again, the one lady, she's my age or older. But if I could have educated them early on in life, do you think that they would have kept the dogs in this condition? I don't. I really don't. I think that they would have. I think they would have chosen humane care. So this is the problem, people. We have people like this all over down here. And the only way you fix it is you have to teach them. You can't just go into an area like this and say, all of a sudden everybody's going to start taking care of the animals. They don't. So anyway, so let's also talk about the transport. The transport is July 24th, and you probably noticed that we switched the location from St. Louis to Indianapolis. There was a couple of reasons we did that. But the exciting part is, guess who's going with me? Dexter's mom, Tracy Nichols, and then Rosita and Bandito's mom, Donna. So this is going to be a wild, wild, fun trip. And I'm excited about that. So they'll be flying in, I think, on the 22nd or 23rd, and then we will deliver dogs on the 24th. So it's going to be a pretty neat, pretty neat time, a fun time. So again, thank you for everybody that donated to the Dehennis issue yesterday. Those donations are going to pay for the spay-neuter of the extra dogs that we weren't expecting, the medical issues that they have, and it was just, humbling. I'm just very, very thankful that y'all did that. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So do you guys want to go see the new dogs now? Because I want to show you everybody that came in, and I would love to do that right now. So hold on just a minute. Let's see. Okay. And if you couldn't tell, I'm a little flustered. So it's like, it seems like I've went from one thing to the next. I was flustered at that event when that happened with that lady, and I was trying everything I could to just get rid of her. I'm flustered right now because right before I jumped on here, I found out my dog that I adopted out in 2017 is in a county pound. I'm flustered. So it's one thing after the other. And at the end of this feed, if you want to stay on, I am going to start the absolutely dreaded process of educating everybody on the no-kill movement that I have uncovered. And what I realized the other day, if you remember when I posted an article and I said, hey, can you guys comment and let me know your thoughts? Nobody did. But what I realized was nobody did because I don't think anybody really understands how it works. I didn't either. And so I really want to educate everybody, just like we did on Chagas disease. When that came about, I didn't want to do that either. I couldn't believe that I was dealing with what we were dealing with. But when you know better, you do better. And when you know something and you feel that you're right about it, you should never not speak up. So that's what we're going to be doing at the end of these feeds for people that want to learn. And we'll do that here in just a minute after I show you these babies. Bonnie Cisco says, how come a dog of yours is in a kennel? Because one of my dogs that I adopted out in 2017 when I was with the old group apparently got out of her yard or something, and she's in a county pound. They scanned her for a chip. The chip has my phone number on it, but I don't have records. So if I don't recognize the dog, I have to post her on my family page and hope somebody recognizes. I recognize her and I know who she is. I have not seen an update from the family in a long time, but I'll be able to find where she is. So that's why one of my dogs is in a county pound. She got out of her yard. She doesn't have a collar or a tag, and the chip is unregistered. There's 600 unregistered chips, according to Home Again, that Carrie Bell Nelson did not register. So there we go. This is something else. I mean, I start talking about it and I get all flustered because I'm worried about my dog. But hold on, let's go through this. I do want to go through that no-kill stuff quickly, and then I'm gonna post her so we can find where she belongs. Okay, so this little sweetie, oh, hi honey. She came in from a private rescuer. Honey, you have a bed over there. Her name is Truffles. And unfortunately, she's got a broken front paw. The x-ray shows literally a break in a way where the toes are turned almost completely up. So she'll be going in hopefully Monday so we can find out if there's anything they can do to help her. It's an old break. She walks with a limp, so I do believe it's painful for her. So the vet started her on some pain meds. Hi, sweetie. And she is just the nicest little dog. So hopefully we'll be able to give her some relief from her ouchie on her front paw. And then this right here is Nash. And Nash is the boy that came in with the big bite wound on the neck. And here, can we see your neck, Nash? Come on. Let's see. Oh, there we go. See, he's got a real bad neck wound, but it is much better. The vet started him on some antibiotics. He's as sweet as they come. He's got a cute little toupee of white on the top of his head. He's young. He'll have his testing on Wednesday. We'll test him for heartworm disease, tick-borne disease, and Chagas disease. He'll be neutered and ready to go. Yeah, did you hear the word neuter? Look at that little face, guys. Is he not precious or what? Yes. I just love him. And he came in also from a private rescuer that found him on a Facebook page. They had to get rid of him. They couldn't afford to treat the wound on the neck, and they wanted him gone ASAP. So, yeah, that's what we deal with here. Hard to believe, right? Nope. Hold on. He's going to have his comb back on if you itch anymore. I get worried he's going to open that up again. Now, this little one came in from Dehennis yesterday, and I tried to get this dog when I first started working with the family, but they would not give him to me because that was their personal dog. I tried, and they would not let me take Rex, but now they did. And Rex was, I know Rex, he was loaded with fleas. He's still itchy, as you can probably tell, and he needs a very good groom. He's got matting all underneath on his belly. And I know, honey, but he had a good bath. He's underweight, so we're making sure he's well fed, and he'll also have all his testing on Wednesday. Poor guy. Sad to me that he had to stay there any longer than he did. Oh. Yep, you know what? I have to admit, I am mad, really mad about this. But I got him out, and hopefully this is I have all of them now. Because apparently either they lied or more showed up, which I think it may have been a little bit of both. But again, I told them, if you call me and let me know you have a female there, we need to get her spayed right away. We don't need more puppies. And what do I have in there? More puppies. And those puppies, the younger girl that lived there said that she had to dig them out of the woods. You know, it's so not funny, but this is the reality, guys. We need education. Every single rescue initiative from me moving forward and from my team moving forward will also have an equal amount of education in it, because I've been doing it wrong for the past 13 years. When I first started in rescue, all I could see was tunnel vision. They're going to euthanize the dogs in the pound. And that's all I could see. Kind of like now when you get on Facebook and that's all you see is people begging for money, kind of like I did yesterday. And, you know, everybody's going to euthanize. The problem has not gotten better. It feels worse. It feels worse to me. It feels worse to Rhonda. And how could that be after being in rescue for how many years now I've been in it? Over 13 years? Something's wrong. We're doing something wrong. And I'm pretty sure based on what I'm finding out, I know what it is. So we're gonna talk about that later. So hold on. Here's some of the others. And as you guys know, I always drape everybody with a crate. Drape everybody with a sheet, because in case anybody's harboring something and they cough, it's like you and I wearing a mask. So this is Walker. Hi, Walker. And Walker came in from a private rescuer too, from the valley, because the streets down there, guys, are really bad, really, really bad. And the streets in San Antonio are really, really bad again. And that is something I'm now just finding out about. We pulled out of San Antonio, rescuing out of there about 10 years ago, because we thought the problem was fixed. Nope. There was a Band-Aid on it, and the problem, I think, is worse than ever. So, okay, so who do we have over here? Oh, yes, we have our little cute Letty. She has got to be the sweetest. Oh my gosh, look at this, guys. Her temperament is of an angel, and she has almost like a little cross on her chest. Hi, sweetie. Oh, she's just rolls on her back and just wants you to love on her. Hi, Letty. Are you ready to go to bed for today? Look at that. Oh my gosh, does that melt your heart or what? That is called a perfect, sweet little baby. That is a perfect one right there. And then we have Ajax. Ajax reminds me of some of the dogs that we took from Dehennis. He kind of reminds me of Trapper. He looks like Trapper. And he's also from a private rescuer. The streets down in Mission, Harlingen, and Brownsville are filling up, guys. The no-kill movement has moved in there, and it is already starting to be a mess. Yes, it is. So now wait till I show you these over here. Y'all are going to just go, oh my. Look at these little puggles. Hi, puggles. Oh, this is Bart and Lisa. They had their pictures done today, and you probably saw them on the adoptable page. Yeah, Ricky Rosales. Yes, Ricky, you and I have been around a long time. ACS is at it again. Nothing was fixed in ACS like we thought. It was a fake no-kill Band-Aid. Oh yeah. And not only that, the streets are bad. And there's a couple reasons they're bad. So we're going to talk about that. But look at these two guys. They're supposed to go into foster care tomorrow with Lisa, because I need to make room for the other dogs coming in, because we have more coming in. Okay. So now we're going to come over here. This little one is Piper, and she's from the house in Dehennis, and she's older. Hi, Piper. I am just in love with her. I don't know how old she is yet, but I'm going to say she's probably 10 plus years old, and just very underweight, full of fleas. Her nails were curled over. And, you know, what normally happens when dogs come in here from a stressful environment, like Dehennis, or even from the really loud kill shelters that we go to, they usually will sleep for like a couple days. And I mean a hard sleep where you just see a peace over them, which makes me feel good, because I try really hard to make the environment here stress-free for them, even though it's not. I can tell that they feel comfortable here. So anyway, they'll sleep for a couple days, then we'll start seeing that personality come out. But little Piper, she's just a doll. I did find out today, though, she knows how to climb fences. So even in we have her in my middle yard, she climbed over. I had to go get her before she jumped down, so she's a fence climber. Yep, I just ratted you out. I told him you like to. Let's look at her over here. Hi, Piper. Poor little baby. Oh, it just does. It breaks my heart. This makes me so sad. Yep, they feel safe so they can sleep now, which is a nice thing for me to see. Poor baby. Yep, and all the older dogs so far have had really bad dental issues. In fact, the one in there is no teeth at all. And I put some wet food and some kibble in there, and he was eating the kibble, just like swallowing it. I had to take it away from him, and you know, he needs wet food because he doesn't have any teeth. But they were really hungry. Now this one, there's a little bit of a story. Wait till you see this one, though. Hold on. This one's name is Georgie. Hi, Georgie. Say hi. Look at him. He's something else, this one. So he is going to have to go. I know. And he's going to start screaming for me in a minute. I know. So let me tell you a little bit about Georgie. He's also from a private rescuer. He cannot handle loud noises or sudden movements. So if he's not going to be good around kids, I know that. But when I go outside with him and I sit, I can't go grab him or try to reach for him. I have to just ignore him. Then he'll climb in my lap. Then he'll like snuggle, but he's the boss of that. So if I were to try to like pick him up, he would swing his head at me. So he's cute enough that we'll find somebody like me that doesn't care. He's like, well, he's got a little bit of behavior problems. So do I. So it's totally fine. But no kids probably for him. We're going to just hold off on that. So, okay. So now we're going to go oh, wait, I know who I wanted to show you. Hold on. And hopefully the feed won't drop. No, we're going to go in here, because I wanted to show you Charlotte, and there's Charlotte. So, hi, Charlotte. So Charlotte's a little bit older, and unfortunately, she's about 30 pounds. And listen to this one. She's from Ashley Garza with Love Us Mutts, and another rescue took Charlotte, it was like a year or two ago, and they left her in boarding and just literally like never picked her up. And the people loved her personality so much, they just they just kept her there. So Ashley sent her to me, and she's lovely, and personality-wise, she's just a sweet, sweet girl. There are so many rescues, guys. I always, applaud everybody's rescue efforts, but I would say just be cautious. I hear of so many stories of people down there that do stuff like that. They campaign for money for boarding or this or that, and then you never find out what happens to the dog because they ditch the dog, which is what they did to Charlotte. So thank you, Ashley, for telling me about this sweet girl. We just love her. And then we have Crystal over here. She was running the streets. Yes, she was. And then we have the sweet Maeve. Oh, and Maeve is from one of my friend's clinic. And she was hit by a car and has on her left eye, she's got some nerve damage in the left eye, but she's healed otherwise completely. But her left eye might have like a touch of dry eye. So we have her on a cyclosporin. But other than that, she's about as sweet as they come. I can't wait to do her pictures and her video. When you see her butt wiggle, you're gonna be jealous because she's just like, she gets down on all four and just, she's got a wiggle to die for. I just love her. Okay, and then who do we have over here? Oh, we got these puppies. We've got Laura and Maggie. Hi, Maggie. And we have Tammy, and those were named after Brenda's sisters. Brenda's our kennel tech that works here, and I want to say there's 5 girls in her family, and we're struggling for names. Those are her sisters' names. So, okay. Oh, you're just fine. And then here's our water girl, S'mores. You probably enjoyed seeing her. And there's beautiful Jacqueline. Okay, Crystal, I see you. I see you. I know. Hi, Maeve. You've got a noisy neighbor. A noisy neighbor. Hi. Oh. I tell you, I love them all. So, okay. So I need to call this room. This should really be the new cell block 6. Hold on. Oh, wait. Okay. There's Gremlin. And there's Pancake. And Oscar. And Gretchen. And Kyle. And Kellogg, and then we have our sweet little, this is Ramona, and Rosie, and Wesson, and Harlow, and Chester. They're barky. So there's still some pups in there from the original DeHennis house that are still up for adoption. They are a little cautious with people once that they don't know, but once they warm up to you, they're totally fine. Yeah, so hold on just a sec. And then we have all of our big dogs, which is Mia, the beautiful T, the handsome Ash, and we have Boone over here, and Laurel, and Elmer. So that's about it. I had my paper, and I don't know what I did with it. I know. I'm a mess. So for those of you that want to learn about what I'm finding out about the no-kill movement, please stay on. For anybody else that wants to jump off, feel free. We're not going to go over this too long of a time, but I really feel it's important for you guys to understand what's going on, because when we know better, we do better, right? So, yeah, so we're going to be doing this. I'm trying to think where I want to do this where I can hear, where it's not going to get too barky. Okay, so as I said, back in 2010, when I started rescuing here in San Antonio, I took all my dogs from Animal Care Services The live release rate was 30%, which means that for every 10 dogs that went in the city shelter, only 3 came out alive, which was bad. So new rescuers, as I was, saw that and I was in disbelief. I literally couldn't believe that that's what was going on, but it is. So started rescuing. Rhonda started rescuing. Then in 2013, so 3 years later, this no-kill movement went into San Antonio, and miraculously, it seemed like overnight everything got better. We were so happy because, I mean, we didn't understand it. We didn't know how they were doing it, but the live release rate was coming up and dogs were getting out and we just were happy. And so we didn't really care how they did it because when you're new in rescue, me anyway, and I know many others that start in it, you get this laser focus and you don't really look at the big picture. All you're focused on is who they're euthanizing today. So we decided, since San Antonio somehow got fixed, that we were going to move down to the border because the border shelters are bad, right? We felt like they really didn't need us anymore in San Antonio, so we moved down to the border. Oh, hey, no fighting. Ooh, they're nice. So we've been in the border now, what, 10 years? 10 years. Problem is awful. And now the no-kill movement is starting to come into the border area. Well, I'm a little more experienced now. I've got quite, you know, how many more years? 10 more, I've been in this now 13 years. So when we pulled out of San Antonio, I had only been doing this 2 or 3 years, still absolutely not looking at the big picture. And now they're saying that they can quick fix the Rio Grande Valley. San Antonio is bad. I'm hearing all kinds of things from rescuers, seeing stuff, bite cases are up, all kinds of stuff that I'm very concerned about. So I actually do, I guess I feel like it's worse than ever. So is no kill working? No, it's not. In fact, what I'm finding out, it is the biggest marketing scam I've ever encountered in all my 56 years. One thing, let me just tell you my definition of no kill. I think there's nobody listening to this right now that would argue that I'm a crazy dog lady in a good way. But I truly love all animals, and when I tell you that, I love all critters, birds, rabbits, cats, dogs. And no kill to me, we're gonna have to address this problem as a whole, right? So all animals that are unwanted, meaning not just the ones that are impounded in the shelter, but the ones that are suffering on the streets. The suffering down here is horrendous. So you saw the little chihuahuas in the bathroom, right? They were in a house where nobody was living. There are thousands of animals like that living on our streets that are dying of starvation, fleas, ticks, getting hit by cars. They matter to me too. So when I say no kill, I mean no kill in the shelter and on the streets. So if you have suffering on your streets, I don't care if your shelter is no kill. You are not no kill. Your movement is not no kill. No kill should show love and compassion for all animals. And what I'm finding is it truly does not. So, you know, what do we... Hold on, and an Amber Alert. I don't know if you can hear that. Ow. So, what are we missing here? You know that I'm a huge proponent of education. But let's face it, a lot of the initiatives with these no-kill movements, they're really good, right? So what is wrong? Why is this not working? Moving forward, Tracy's Paws anyway, any rescue initiative that you see us doing is going to accompany education. There's going to be education right with it. Because what we're trying to do, we're trying to take people and we're trying to change their mindset. So you cannot just say no kill and only focus on dogs that are in a city or a county shelter. You can't do that. If you love animals, you should want no kill for all, which means no suffering on the streets. So my no kill movement and my new agenda is, I don't want to hear any more about numbers, or, because honestly guys, they mean nothing. They mean nothing if they don't include all the animals in the community. They all matter, right? There is no way, like the Chihuahuas in the bathroom, those dogs would have died a slow, agonizing death if they were out on the streets, as little as they are. I would much rather humanely euthanize an animal than watching it suffer the way I've seen some of these animals suffer. There's worse things than being euthanized, and I've seen them. So, love and compassion for all animals, whether they're on the streets, and that's how our programs need to be designed. Not just focusing on a number and an agenda with the animals inside the shelter. So next week, we're going to go over the difference between a nonprofit organization and a city municipality, because I think there's also some confusion there. People don't understand, if you see a no-kill shelter, what does that mean? What does it mean? No kill means something different to everybody. To me, it's no kill for all. So, and that's what I'm going to be a proponent moving forward. No suffering and love and compassion for all creatures that don't have home, all dogs and cats, because that's really who we're talking about here. So feel free, next week to chime in. I'm gonna go over what I'm uncovering, answer any questions that you might have. Really, the confusion between a nonprofit, where we are funded, and then the way a city municipality is funded, and what do I think will work? Because I do have a plan, and I think it's a good one. But it is nothing that's a quick fix. All of these quick fix programs to me have been Band-Aids. Kind of like if you cut your wrist and you have a bad cut on your wrist and it's very unsightly. You don't want to see it, so you put a Band-Aid on it. But it gets infected and you're not treating the root of the problem, which is the bite, the infection. And you keep the Band-Aid on there so you don't have to look at it. But once the Band-Aid comes off, it's infected. And it may have even got into your bloodstream. You could have a lot more problems now because you didn't address the initial problem, which is the bite, right? It's kind of like that with what I'm seeing. We have to get to the root of the problem. So when we only laser focused on who's going to be euthanized today, why was I not asking myself, why are all these dogs coming in to begin with? Why do we have so many unwanted strays in this area? That's what needs to be addressed. Not who's going to be euthanized today. Well, yes, that's important too, but we have to address the why behind it. And I don't think I've ever seen any of these groups address the why. They're putting Band-Aids on the problem, transporting the dogs out, their spay-neuter clinics, which are wonderful. Don't get me wrong, I love all of that. But unless you're addressing the why, you're not changing anything. The people today that I deal with are the same type of people I dealt with 10 years ago. And we've done nothing to help those people think the way think the way you and I do. And that's what we really want. Because guess what? If we can get them to think the way we do, we're going to have better adopters. We're going to have more educated people. It's a win-win for everybody. And eventually, over time, guys, we're going to create a new generation of animal advocates that one day are going to take over when I'm not here, right? But if we don't do anything to train them and to teach them right, they're not going to do it. They've been seeing it done the wrong way for years and years, just like the people in Dehennis. They don't see anything wrong with their dogs having no fur on their back and loaded with fleas. You know, it's just, they love them, but that's acceptable to them. It's not acceptable to me, and it's not acceptable to you. So we have to help those people. If we love these animals, we have to educate people. If we don't, all we're doing is the same amount of animals are going to continue to come in. All we're doing is shuffling the problem around from one place to the other, but the people are the same. The same people that were uneducated 10 years ago are uneducated today too. So I'll get off my soapbox, and we will talk more next week about the nonprofit sector and the city municipalities and how they operate, so you have an understanding of, you know, who can do what and how we're funded. That plays a big role. So on that note, I will see you guys next week, okay? Thank you again for your donations for the Dehennis dogs. I appreciate it more than you know. Bye. Oh, something's wrong with this feed. Jeez, I'm technically challenged.